Welcome back to the channel. Are you looking at getting into trail running? Trail running, this is the best time for trail running due to the summer because it is hot outside and that trail gives you that added shade. Now we'll be talking about how to do the trail running, the fueling for trail running, gear that you may need for trail running, and different tips that you could use for trail running. Now, when you talk about trail running, there's different kind of trails. There is that paved trail, there's the dirt trail, and then there's the mountain trail or even rural area trails. So there's definitely a lot of variety to add to that trail running. And on this channel, we talk about all things running and fitness related. So be sure to subscribe and be part of the tribe because we post 2 videos a week, and that is on Thursdays and Saturdays. Our goal is to motivate you to be a strong runner and to inspire you on your fitness journey. So let's get started with the tips on how to do trail running. So when you look at doing trail running, you may want to look at joining local running groups to help find information of how to run that trail. Or you can look at joining or going to a local running store or outdoor specialty store to find out insights about those trails to run, or that running store could direct you to local groups to join or trail races. Now you want to make sure that you check the websites of the trails to find out information on how to run the trails and different things that you may see on that trail. And then you want to get a map, especially if you're doing an unfamiliar route, to get more information of how to do that trail, or find someone that knows the trail that you could run with. So you could be also using Google. So whatever trail that you are running, could go on google.com and look up that trail, or pick up different guidebooks to be able to see that trail difficulty, the elevation of that trail, how long that trail is, the direction to get in there, as well as if stalls allowed in that trail, and be able to read other reviews of that trail to gauge what kind of trail that you will be running. Now, when it comes to trail running, gear would be kind of important, especially for runners. So when you think about gear, you want to wear clothing that's moisture wicking, wool, or synthetics. And that means that you don't want to wear cotton because cotton is slow to dry. And you also want to be wearing socks that's merino wool and synthetics as well for your socks as well. Now you could think about wearing some type of watch, like a GPS watch that's a basic, like just tell you the time, or it could go all the way to advanced, like high-tech GPS watch that you could use to be able to gauge your distance, your pace, as well as navigation. But that'd be up to you what type of GPS watch or watch that you want to wear. And then after that, you want to be thinking about, especially if you are running a trail that's unfamiliar to you, you want to have some type of navigation tool available, such as a compass, to help you with that navigation. And then if you're a person that is running at night, you want to be wearing some type of headlamp to help you with that running. Now, some runners also run with a handheld flashlight in addition to that headlamp to give them actual lighting so they can see. And then you also want to start thinking about if you're running in a sunny area, especially if it's in a warmer temperature in the summertime, like this video is almost summer, you want to be thinking about some type of sun protection, like wearing an SPF of 30 or above, or even some sun, like a hat or a visor to help you with that sun protection. Now, shoes would be the most important for your trail running. But the shoes will depends on what type of environment that you're running on. If you are running a gravel path, a mallow gravel, you still are able to wear that road running shoes. So if you're running a trail that do contain rocks or roots, like tree roots, or even muddiness, then you want to be considering investing in a trail running shoes. Now, trail running shoes is more beefier than that regular road running shoes and give you that more stability and protection for your shoes. And it's different type of trail running shoes, just like road running shoes, such as that minimalist trail running shoes that just help you get more barefoot as possible, or that maximalist trail running shoes that just give you more action cushion in your shoes. Now we are going to give you some trail running shoes review right here on the Scully Twins channel. So if you are interested in future trail running review of a different shoe or of a certain trail running shoe, definitely subscribe to our channel to never miss that trail running shoes. Now, if you are a person that already do road running shoes and you need some shoe review, we actually have that Flyknit outfit, Nike outfit Flyknit right here on our channel, as well as a Brook Goes 13 shoe review right on our channel. So definitely check those two videos out for different road running shoes. Now, when you think about some other things that you want to think about when it comes to trail running, is that first aid kit. So especially if you are running a trail more adventurous or something that have different terrains in it, you need to have that protection available for you, such as band-aids, bandages, and that antibacterial ointment to help you with minor wounds that you could experience along the way. And I do want to give that option that if you are running a trail in colder temperature, you definitely want to be dressing in layers. So therefore, if you are warming up, like as you starting that trail, you might be cold, so you need that extra layers on it. It allows you to take off the additional layers as you warm up. So therefore, you can take those layers off, and then later on in that trail, if you are experiencing that you're getting a little chilly, you have those layers on you that you could just place back on. Now, generally, all you need to run a trail would just be shoes, some shorts, and a shirt, but that would depends on the weather, especially if you run it 40 degrees to 70 degrees, that'd be perfect. So now let's focus on fueling. So you want me to think about hydrating before your run, during your run, and after your run. So therefore, you want me to think about drinking water or sports drink. Because when you're out for your run, you want to make sure that you are replacing that lost fluids and that electrolyte that you have lost during your run. So there are different ways to carry that water bottle. So you can think about using a handheld water bottle, a hydration belt, or even a hydration vest. So if you want to think about how to carry water, make sure you check the description below for how to carry different ways to carry water bottles or water during your run, or you can check the Scully Twins channel for that video. Now, if you're running more than 1 hour, you want to make sure that you are properly fueling, which means you want to think about having carbs to replace that lost or depleted glycogen from that run, especially if you're running more than an hour to 90 minutes. So therefore, you want to think about intaking sports supplements like sports gel, sports beans, sports block, to name a few. Now, if you are training or racing an ultra marathon, that means you're running more than 30 miles. You want to be thinking about adding fats and lean protein to your fueling. So therefore, you want to think about having a sports bar or even that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If you are running a rural trail or that mountain trail, then you want to make sure that it's important to bring enough fueling and hydration on your run, due to the fact that you will not be running by any convenience store to replenish your fueling. No trail is going to be the same. Each trail will have its own terrain and difference to it. So for example, if you were to be running a single track trail, that single track trail terrain might have anything range from rocks, from roots, to hills, to mud, slides. So each thing would be different. Now the single track trail would be a lot harder than other trails. Now trail running could be very hard for new runners, so you want to be slowly getting into it. So most likely, because it's going to be exhausting, it's hard and exhausting to start out, so your time is going to be a lot slower than just running a road running trail, and your pace is going to be a lot slower as well. So you want to be slowing down your pace when you're running a trail running compared to those road running. Now, it eventually will get much easier for you. And you want to stay safe while you are running those trail runnings. So that means that you want to be running with someone like your friend or even your dog. But if you are going out and run by yourself, then you want to make sure that you are telling someone where you're going and which trail that you are running. And then you want to make sure that you are carrying your cell phone, either a trail map, and some type of ID. Now there are safety apps available for you that you can download on your phone that can help you, especially when you're running alone. Now you want to make sure that you are knowing the trail rules, such as you want to be yielding to horses and their walkers, hikers, as well as bicyclists that's out on those trails. And the downhill trail running should be yielding to the uphill trail runners. And that means that the reason is that if you're running downhill, you have more of a sightsee and more to see compared to that uphill running. It will be harder for that runner to stop mid-run. You just want to make sure that you are staying courteous to other runners out there on the trail, and be sure to stay on those marked trails. And when you're running, you don't want to be looking down at your feet or out looking at nature around you. Instead, you want to be focusing on that trail while you're running, and this will help prevent injury or falling. And if you do need to stop and see, if you want to look around and you see something interesting, make sure that you are stopping to sightsee and then continue on that trail. So you want to be running by effort and not by pace. And so that means that by time, because like I said, you will be running a lot slower. So that means that if you are a new runner and you do go out there, you might want to make sure that you are running the downhills, but you could be walking the uphills, and that's okay to do that. Then gradually you could be building yourself up to running those uphills as well, because when you do trail running, those terrains, those hills is a lot steeper. So you might want to go ahead and slow it down some. The other reason why you want to be running by time rather than by pace, because the same time that take you to complete 6 miles would be a lot different than for trail running than road running. So that means that to complete that 6 miles, you might want to say, I want to complete 3 miles instead, because you don't want to be out there a lot longer than you had expected. Now when running, you want to make sure that you are running somewhat flat foot or mid foot on those runs. And some runs will find yourself running more of a forefoot or a mid foot on those trail runs, especially even when they're going down hills. But when you do go out there for your run, you want to make sure that you're not overstriding, and make sure that your run, that you are running underneath your heels, that your feet are landing underneath the heels. Sometimes when running downhill, you can expect that you might just fall, and be okay with it. So you still want to make sure that you are running a flat foot and mid foot running downhill, but some runs do find themselves running on the heel. So use short stride and keep your feet underneath you at all times, due to you running on dirt, rocks, and logs. Now you want to make sure that you are looking ahead in front of you, at least 10 to 15 feet. Now you want to keep in mind that you will be running a lot slower on the trail due to the different terrains. So you want to give up trying to keep a certain pace, distance, or splits, because trail running definitely feels different than road running. So when you're doing the trail, 5 miles will feel almost like you did 7 to 10 miles, just because of different terrains. Trust me on that one. So instead, you want to relax and enjoy the scenery, because the trail running is beautiful running in nature. Now do keep in mind and get ready and embrace the dirt and the mud, because the trail running is definitely muddy and dirty, especially if you're trying to run a trail a day or 2 after raining. Now accept the fact that you will fall. Everyone has fallen at least one time while doing their trail running, because sometimes you just miss that log. And if you're running uphill, make sure that you are running slightly leaning forward. And if you're running in any steep hill, feel free to walk it if you have to. Now make sure you are using short, rapid stride to help give you more stability. Now be mindful of the wildlife, which is why it's important to be checking that wild site for any animals that you may encounter on a trail, and how and what to do when you see that animal. The great thing about trail running is that most trail runs does have soft surfaces, which is make it great and better for your joints. A trail run does challenge you and cause you to change and adapt your gait. Another thing about trail running is that it does challenge you and it causes you to change and adapt. And it also causes you to change your gait and your stride. And trail run also develop balance and build strength in your muscles. Now another thing when you're doing trail running, you want to get familiar with that trail markings. You want to know how it's look and what each marking means. Now if you're doing a paved trail, then the markings will be by trail, the distance or what mileage you are in. So it would either be on the ground, the mileage or kilometer, depending on where you live in the area. In the United States, we have mileage. So the mileage would be in the ground, or it would be a post on the side of that trail letting you know you're mile 17, mile 15, mile 5, 0.0. And then when you're doing a dirt trail, some of them will have it in the trees or on the side in the ground. So therefore it'll be like blue markings, chalk markings, yellow, green, and you want to know what each of them mean, because usually during the trails it means a different kind of trail, because 3 to 4 trails could run and mingle into that one trail. So when you get on a trail and you follow the blue trail, but you get off on the white trail, you want to make sure that you are knowing when you get off, so therefore you'll be able to retract your way backwards and get back to your destination. Now if you're running mountains or rural trails, they may not have marking or even paved, so that's why the map will come in handy, so therefore you'll be able to know how to run that trail and make sure you'll be able to retract your steps backwards to get back home. And then you want to be gradually building yourself up for trail running. So start with a trail that's more a lower incline and more easier, then build yourself up through those trail runs over time to gradually higher inclines for your trail running. So overall, the trail running is a great thing to get into, because there is always tips and tricks that you could learn for doing trail running. So definitely give us a thumbs up if you learn anything about how to do your trail running. So always make sure that you are properly fueling on the trail, that you are wearing the proper trail running shoes, because there's a difference between road running and trail run that we went over, and therefore that you are make sure you study your trail and have the map and know how to run that trail properly. We can't wait for you to listen to our next video, and definitely look in the descriptions below for how to be able to fuel on your trail running, how to be able to carry that water and different things like that. We cannot wait to see you on next video. Until next time, bye-bye.